Welcome to another edition of Comic Book Business News. It is I, Josh Goldstein, on this date, 8/19/2020. On this date, the Flyers are the playoffs. They have a 3.0 lead. Biden is really nominated, and we have these 5 books for you these 5 reviews for you people to see. But the news and comics first. Former DC editor Dan Didio has a project at Image, and as other new projects are Tony Daniel and Scott Snyder have a new project. It's sort of like a bad girl type character. You're going to have sources from the sources say this is going to be a very interesting book. Also, a new Wolverine comic book is coming out soon. Wolverine Black and White, which is sort of like a la Batman Black and White. It's going to be fun little black and white Wolverine books. It's supposed to have the independent comics taste to it. It should be great. Also, check out our new Comic Book Business News Patreon. Yes, you can look for me, Josh Goldstein, on Patreon, and please donate to our website. There's not a lot up there right now. We're just continuing to build the site. We should have our first post by next week. And our new Comic Book Business News Facebook button is really doing better. And check us out also, Comic Book Business News on Twitter. Check out Patreon. If the Patreon does well, you will get those Comic Book Business News mugs, which is what we will do here at Comic Book Business News. Drink a little mug for your coffee enjoyment. So, enough chit chat. I have a shitload of comics here. So, one more thing. Next week is the Sal Buscema Crazy Sal interview, and you will see the interview with Sal Buscema, who is my mentor in comic books. I mean, he's the man who taught me all the tricks, comic book wise. He's the proprietor of Adventureland Store and all its predecessors. So, Crazy Sal and all his shenanigans next week on Comic Book Business News. And now on to the comics. This one is pretty cool. It's Justice League 44. Justice League 44. And this is actually a pretty good comic book. Got on the cover, got Superman and Wonder Woman and bats escaping. I don't know. What are they escaping? Look at this picture of Aquaman and the sea serpent. And Wonder Woman. Oh, interesting. Do the Justice League, then I do some DC news. I know I heard of the reductions. It's sad. Spectre, cool picture. The Siegel and Schuster character. Okay, it's a pretty good one. Give it a 3.5. It's kind of an average Justice League. This is Justice League 50. The new Justice League 50. This is a long, glossy anniversary issue. This is it's pretty cool. This was a pretty good issue. I remember it now. Anniversary issue for a Gal Gadot Wonder Woman. I like how my comics are resembling my movies. They always do that with DC. So it all warners together. Oh, definitely wrong. Don't want to. So this is a pretty good one. This is a 4. This is a good anniversary. I like the glossy. This is nice. Trying hard, DC. Oh yeah, and I have I heard the unfortunate news about DC making the reductions. Bob Harris being fired, half the staffers and execs being forced to step down or being fired. It's tragic. I mean, I was thinking Ethan was crazy, but this may not be craziness. This may not be DC going down or serious corporate reductions, but this is like half the titles and some imprints, more imprints being canceled. This is terrible news for Jim Lee and DC, but Jim Lee is optimistic. Jim Lee is like, well, digital comics are the future, and of course we're continuing making comics, and all these things are. DC really is going strong. It is at the end for DC. This is Power Rangers. This is goofy, but it's kind of like the art at least is always good with the Rangers. The kids love the Rangers. The kids, I know. I don't know. It's old. It's weird they still have Power Rangers. I kind of, maybe I'm a little too ritzy, but even I remember the Power Rangers, but it was kind of gay stuff. Like my guilty pleasure is, this is a 2, by the way. My guilty pleasure is that I was a Green Ranger and White Ranger fan, and the other Ranger is kind of hot, but she's kind of like not as hot as real Asian chicks. Red Dude's totally gay. Spawn. I love Spawn. World record breaking comic book. Yeah, Todd got the world record from Guinness for the longest drawn series by one artist. Did have some help from Greg Capullo. That's we got who is that at CNN? This is like, I like this comic book. 309 is coming out soon. This is a 4.5 for Spawn 308. Because this is like Todd McFarlane's really, really great artist. I want one of those animation boards like he does. So that'll cut. You have to have a little computer flair to use it, but That would be so cool to have one of those animation boards. Those are like $1,000. I have to wait a while for that to spot a apple. Amazing Spider-Man 319. This low number McFarlane I got from the students. This I got from this when on break when I was at this doing this show in Cherry Hill. I was signing my comic books. This was at the Students Bash, comic bash. I was the only artist in his artist alley. It was like the only show I did this year. So this year sucked for me as an artist. I hope next year I get to do more shows. It was like, yeah, so this is a good classic comic. Let's check out this one. Got charged full price for this. It's in the dollar bin pool. These comics always suck. This is a night classic comics. Who was the ads? Konami Nintendo games. I remember that system. It sucks. Venom. I like Venom. McFarlane drawing Venom. McFarlane Spider-Man is so cool. McFarlane Spider-Man. McFarlane Spider-Man. Buy your stupid jewelry. More stupid jewelry. Be like the drug dealer in your high school wearing gay jewelry. This is a great comic book. Because it's a McFarlane, it gets a 4.5. And this is like probably I should be a gay guy like that guy whose show I did and send it off to be, like all CGA graded, but it's because we love comic books. Spider-Man can't do anything a spider can. So it's like do 2 more of these and save the rest of the stack for later. The next comic book business news. Of course, I have to have Sal's interview. This is like the stupidest Spider-Man in a while. This is a pretty good Spider-Man, but I gotta say, the other Spider-Man with McFarlane is better. But this is a new one. This is a good one. All right, I give it like 3.9. This is another new Spider-Man from, like, I'll do a few more of these. I don't need to just do 2. It's that 15-minute mark. Spider-Man, Spider-Man, radioactive Spider-Man, Spider-Module, Spider-Man. This is like I think this is like a 4, but just a little better because I'm not fighting the crap monster. So that's the new Amazing Spider-Man. This is Spider-Man often fights the little crappy enemies because he's like Batman. There's a million Spider-Mans over the years. It's hard to like have a complete collection of Spider-Man. Also, because of the nature of the industry, unless you're constructing the Great Library of Alexandria, you're going to deal some of your Spider-Mans away. Of course, if I had the original Spider-Man, might keep it as my guilty pleasure, although some of my older comics, I guess I could deal because I had a big enough offer I might, but like you don't want to sell. Oh yeah, this is a 4. You don't want to sell your best comics and have crap unless you're really like planning on retiring and buying the place in Florida. Of course, with the value of my collection, I probably have at least $10,000 collection of these. This is kind of an interesting one. This is all right. This is a 2. This is a cool one, but I think I did this already. And did I? No, I didn't. This is actually a very old. That's one we're going to do today. The very old Superman. This is actually Superman 500. This is actually from our DC National friends a real long time ago. Like back when Supergirl had her costume like that. This was before like John Byrne did the revision of Superman. Before they killed off the original Supergirl. And I have to be careful because it's one of those old comics. The 80s or 70s. So this is Giant Superman. And Superman are our amazing friend. So I have to say, this is a really great comic book. And This is the Superman 500. This is also gotten from that convention I did. This is like a nice old comic. I give it 4. So, like, that is all for this week of comic book business news. We might have an extra one on Saturday, but this is just because Flyers are eliminating the Habs. Bye for now.